Welcome in. I'm Nicole Alshouse with Charlotte Christian, the founder of Summit, a divorce and custody law firm with offices in Huntsville and in Birmingham, Alabama. And Charlotte, I know your practice provides so much value to our community right here, and I want to learn about that. But first, I want to dive into a little bit about you. Are you from here?
I'm from Alabama. I was
Okay.
born in Alabama, raised in Alabama, educated in Alabama, and really love the state. I've traveled a lot, and I have considered, as most people do, I guess, looking at other places to live. But I always come back to Alabama because I just think that it's just such a gem. It's a jewel that not everybody knows, but it's a place that I really want to give back and provide value to the community. So that's what we've built with Summit, and it's what we continue to build daily.
Did you always know when you were little that you wanted to go into law and that you wanted to practice law here in Alabama, or?
I was business driven. As I grew up, I was business driven, and I wanted to do something to give back. And unfortunately, I lost my dad when I was 18 months old. He and I were in a car accident, and then later in life, I lost my husband. So after losing both of those people in my life, I realized that I've gone through a lot, and I have made it to the other side. And in doing that, I knew that I could help other people who were in the worst times of their lives. So if you look at, divorces, it's a very dark time, and there's a way to the other side. And oftentimes you just need somebody to help you get there. And so I'd gotten through that, and I'd sort of lived through, some rough, different kind of times. And I said, hey, I can help other people with this. So that's why I built Summit.
It's interesting. I never would have even thought of that parallel because death is inevitable, divorce is inevitable, and you probably had people that helped you along the way.
Oh,
So you
absolutely.
turned around and said, "Hey, I want to be able to help somebody, kind of take them under your wings and help somebody else through a challenging time."
You know, when you're in the middle of a divorce, or you've lost somebody who's so
Yeah.
important to you or so integral to your growth,
Yeah.
you you have so many feelings. You have
Yeah.
fear, you have frustration, you have anger, you have unknown. There's just so many things that envelop you as a person.
Mhm.
And being able to walk through each of those with somebody who's done that, somebody who
Mhm.
knows what the other side looks like and who knows how to help you
Yeah.
get to the other side, is just so critical and important. Unfortunately, I had that in my life. I
Yeah.
was surrounded by good people who helped me, through those stages. And that's why I wanted to give back, and built the firm to be able to do that.
And it's interesting, when I was researching Summit, I realized that one of the mottos that you live by is leaving people better than you found them. Why is that important to you as the founder?
We really try to be different. We try to have our firm built around our mission, vision, and our values. And I talked about it with the team today, our mission, vision, and values. And we talk about it on a weekly basis because I believe that unless you know where you're going, you're going to end up wherever you land. So we really have a vision of where we're going and what we're building in the state of Alabama. We have a mission to get us there. But the most important thing is that we live by our values on a daily basis.
Mhm.
And we ask ourselves, did we measure this decision by our values? And anytime something breaks, or something is not
Mhm.
just exactly like we wanted, or the standard that we wanted, we go back and we look and we say, okay, here's our values. Did
Mhm.
we meet that? And one of our values is leaving others better than we found them.
Mhm.
And I feel like that if we live by our values every day, if we measure by our values, that we're offering a product, for lack of a better word, that
Mhm.
nobody else is offering, or that many other people don't offer. So it's so important to us to leave others better than we found them, but also to provide them with unexpected opportunities. And then lastly, our last one is excellence, is that everything we do, we try to operate with excellence, and we try to make sure that excellence follows us and that we're able to give that to other people. So that's very important.
When I was looking through the Google reviews, it's a lot of people said thorough communication. That's what they appreciated so much. And I've had several friends and girlfriends, guy friends even, that have gotten divorced through the years. And the most frustrating thing is, if you're going through something hard, you just want to be abreast of the situation. You want to know details. You want to know every step of what's being done on your behalf. And that's such a compliment when I was reading that, because I thought, gosh, thorough communication is something they are excellent at Summit. Did that happen overnight, or was that a process that really took?
No, it's a great question, and it's a great thought to
Yeah,
discuss, which is it didn't always happen. Like it hasn't always happened here. We had to grow through that,
yeah.
and we had to grow to that. So there's been plenty of times historically in the past maybe that we didn't communicate as much as we needed to because we were busy
So busy.
trying to take care of the law, and then we wouldn't communicate to the level we needed, and we made a conscious effort, a year-long conscious effort of saying, let's take care of what our clients' needs are. And that goes along with all the things I was just talking about,
Mhm,
is that we have to be able to help people through all those feelings
mhm,
and the questions they have. And at the end of the day, people don't know what they don't know. And if people
mhm.
don't know something, they start telling themselves stories. And
True.
then they may end up hurting their case. They're not going to feel like they got the best representation from us. So it's so important for us. We've set up a strategy now so that we talk to our clients at least every 2 weeks. We talk about
Mm,
what we did on their case before. We talk about what we're going to do in the next 2 weeks. We get
huge.
buy-in. We really try to, answer their questions as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But more so, we try to anticipate what their questions are going to be, because at the end of the day, you don't know what to ask us unless you have been through this and do
Yeah.
it like we do on a daily basis. So we really try to anticipate what they need next,
Yeah.
what they're going to ask next, or what they may be sitting at home wondering,
Mhm,
because we oftentimes compare it to like a physician, is that
mhm.
you get a medical test on Friday, and if you don't talk to your doctor by
True.
Monday morning, you're going to have yourself half dead,
Yes.
because you're going to have Googled, you're going to ask your cousins, your friends, and everybody's going to give you information that's incorrect.
Yeah.
So, because of that, it's really important to us that we communicate and we bring clarity to the situation and to our clients.
And I see that you really focus on two lanes. So you've got divorce and custody, and part of that is number one, really fighting for fair custody outcomes for moms, for dads, and then also for allowing or helping people allow to retain some of those assets that they've worked in many cases years, if not decades, to earn. So, seeing their kids and maintaining some assets, important things that you guys focus on.
For so long, the opinion was there, and oftentimes it happened in courts that mom just got custody.
Yeah.
That's just what happened, that mom got custody. And then as the years have gone on, and we're sort of where we are today in the legal space, that's not the case. There's a presumption that both parents are suitable to have at least equal time with the children, and that's what we fight to make sure that we can put in place. And then going to the assets and the debts, there's just so much that has to be put in place on the
Mhm.
back end from a legal perspective
Yeah.
that we're comfortable in doing. But all of that goes back to the strategy. So
Yeah.
it all goes back to having to understand, what does our client want? At the end of the day, what does he or she really want? What's going to make his or her life better? What's going to make the kids' lives better? And then the good thing about working with us is
Yeah.
that we have an amazing team of lawyers who strategize together. So you're not
Mhm.
just hiring one lawyer, you're hiring years and years and years of experience, where
Yeah.
there's a huge collaboration into the strategy. So, the strategy's set up, and then we really go execute strong on that strategy. We know the rules, we know the things that we need to do to execute on that strategy at a high level. So we're really happy with the product that we're
Yeah.
able to give to people. But at the end of the day, it's just making sure that that strategy is built so that we can protect the time with your children, and so that we can make sure that you keep as much of your assets as possible, and not have to carry as much of the debt as
Yeah.
possible as well.
Well, I know you're so busy, and I know you've got a thousand other things to do. But before we wrap up, I wanted to talk about the I think misconception, which is some people think a divorce or custody law firm, they're encouraging divorce, but your standpoint here at the summit is you're not encouraging. You're simply the best solution for somebody that's already going to be there.
We certainly try to be the best solution for somebody who's already going to be there. And at the end of the day, we certainly don't want you to get a divorce. The best thing that's ever happened to me in my practice is that we've had 4 people who we actually helped to get back together, because we didn't
Mm,
feel like that they really wanted a divorce. We felt like that, society, the pressures around them actually
Yeah.
pushed them to it. And we were
Yeah.
able to get their marriage back together. And of those four, three of those are still married. So
Wow.
that's a great thing for us. At the end of the day, it just is important that if you are getting that divorce, if you have a child that you've got a custody issue about,
Mhm.
that you just don't tear down the family in the process. Look, do what you
Yeah.
have to do to win. There's no winning in divorce,
Yeah.
but do what you have to do to get where you want to go. But do that without destroying yourself in the process, because that's the most important piece, I think, for a divorce and custody law firm.
Okay, so much more we could ask, but I know you've got important meetings to attend. Make sure to watch the podcasts that are going to be available to you every single week with more from Summit. And of course, the website and phone number is listed at the bottom of your screen as well. So if you've got questions, concerns, if you want to talk to one of the team members here, they're more than happy to talk with you, talk to you, and really give the best solution that they can provide. Again, that happens with that phone call or that consult. So thank you so much, Charlotte, for
Thank you.
joining us.
Appreciate your time.
Charlotte Christian, founder of Summit, a divorce and custody law firm.